Welcome to Design Santa Barbara. This week we are continuing our tradition of interviewing people who have made a great difference in our community. Today I'm excited to have with us Executive Director of Unity Shop, Mr. Tom Reed. Tom, thank you for being with us.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for the invitation.
I appreciate it very much. I have a few questions for you, and I'm pretty sure our viewers would love to know where you come from and what the Unity Shop does for our town so greatly. What originally brought you to Santa Barbara?
Well, in 2000, I was active in a kind of a men's outreach in San Francisco. I was doing music. I was a traveling musician for 15 years. And I was trying to talk to people about what's really meaningful and what's life all about. I had lost 2 houses to major disasters. Kind of a long story, but it got me out of the business world and I started to reevaluate life. And when I came down here in 2000 and bumped into the Unity Shop, it was a perfect extension of what that purpose is, because it's helping a lot of people the right way.
Second question is, how did you get involved in nonprofit work, which you mentioned?
Well, that's a good question. I think everybody that's in the nonprofit world would benefit by, or maybe the public would be interested in knowing how that happens. But for me, it was almost a spiritual awakening. I had spent my early years in the business world trying to just make a dollar. And I thought that's where contentment would come, a feeling of success, financial independence, certainly all the things that we try to do with a career orientation. And when I went through those major disasters, it was sort of a mid-course adjustment. It wasn't a midlife crisis. It was a mid-course adjustment, which I think is a healthy thing, and for me it certainly was. And I stepped into the mode of not being so much concerned about compensation as I was how much good can we do to help others.
That's wonderful. It's just a lot of times it happens. The worst things happen to you actually are blessings in disguise. The best things happen to you. And sometimes things that you think they're good turn to be not that great. Please tell us about Unity Shop's incredible 100-year history.
Well, the name Pearl Chase is pretty famous in this town, largely responsible for the architectural theme in town after the earthquake of 1925. Most people would recognize that. But in 1917, 100 years ago, she had a heart for kind of the working poor, I would say. Actually, maids in Santa Barbara, the people that they worked for often were only here for a while. They were in LA. And so she thought, well, working families, single moms ought to have some food at Christmas. The kids ought to have toys, even if they were used and broken. And seniors ought not to be forgotten, just put out to pasture, and if they're in hospitals or wherever they are, let's do something for the seniors. Those 3 committees in 1936 became the Council of Christmas Cheer, sort of organized around a nonprofit sort of theme. And the policies of how they were going to be doing things formulated way back then, the idea of offering choice for people that would provide a little self-respect, a little dignity, a little making heroes of the parents in the eyes of the kids, those kinds of policies. And then it went year-round in the mid-'80s when Barbara Tellefson inherited the charity from Pearl Chase. And it began to grow exponentially at that point. And so now it's grown from a few hundred families to 20,000 people in the county. And Kenny Loggins actually renamed it because the Council of Christmas Cheer sent the wrong message. That said it's Christmas only, and now it's year-round, and they needed help with the growth. And so Unity came, the name Unity was Kenny Loggins' idea. Let's all work together. Let's bring everybody together. So now what that name means is there are 300 referring agencies that are, in a sense, already in relationship with the working poor. Now it could be Department of Social Services, aid to families of dependent children. If you file for unemployment or food stamps in this county, you're sent to the Unity Shop. So government agencies, counseling, churches. 25% of our referrals are schools, because a counselor, a teacher, a nurse, those people find out quicker than anybody that there's a problem in the family. They're working with the kids. And so what Unity then is a safety net. Those 300 agencies, as soon as they identify there's a problem, there's a crisis, a temporary crisis with a family, they say, you need to get down to the Unity Shop. And the quicker they get down to us, the quicker we get them back on their feet. The name shop, Old English spelling, just means we let them choose what they need. That's different than handing them a bag or a box of food. That's wasteful. I can tell you statistics, it's incredibly wasteful. And there's no dignity involved. That's not how the kids see their parents shopping. And so we offer choice. We give them a shopping cart and they can go choose what they want. There's no waste that way. But that's what Unity Shop means. And it's grown now to about 20,000 people, and they're back on their feet, self-sufficient in about 6 visits. Measurably successful. Wild idea. Very effective program.
What are some of Unity Shop's year-round activities?
Well, when we think of activities, we think about families coming through every day. Probably 50 to 75 families every day, except at Christmas time. And leading up to Thanksgiving, we'll have 1,500 families coming through for groceries. And then in December, we have to open 6 days a week, and we're open until 8 o'clock at night with about 175 to 200 families every day coming through. And these aren't families that are paying for childcare, so they bring their kids, and their kids are actually picking out their own Christmas presents. If you or any of your viewing audience want to get into the Christmas holiday spirit, come down to Unity Shop, 1401 Chapala, anytime in November or December, and watch what goes on down there. And of course, you can bring your kids or grandkids down for volunteering. And I've often said, and I believe wholeheartedly, it's never too early to get kids thinking about somebody besides themselves, right? So helping out and watching what happens with kind of needy families, it's educational. And the shared experience of volunteering is a wonderful thing. Now you ask what we do. Well, let's see. This year we did the Magic Mansion, kind of a great fundraising event in March. We're going to try to do that again in early 2018. The motorcycle toy run is another. This is the 30th anniversary motorcycle toy run coming up on December the 3rd. And that's just great fun. 500 motorcycles. We have the Vesperados. They're not just all Harley Davidson. We got motor scooters, we've got everybody. Any two-wheeled motorized vehicle gets to participate. The police escort us through, so you don't have to stop at any intersections or stop signs. You can just roll through. And after the first 25 Harleys rolled by somebody's house, they come out and wave, and the kids are just having a great time. And so it's great for the community. Big barbecue at the end. And so if anybody wanted to sponsor that, we can give an opportunity to actually talk to 750 people that are in that event, that are you can have their attention for a few minutes. And of course, the telethon, our 31st anniversary telethon with Kenny Loggins, will be on December the 9th.
Wonderful. When we come back, Tom and I will talk more about Unity Shop's incredible work and the upcoming Unity Telethon. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. There is more Design Santa Barbara after the break. On this edition of Michael's Minute, I would like to talk to you about mid-century modern furniture. Mid-century modern is described as the period between 1933 and 1965, in which designers such as Eames and Nakashima used clean lines and futuristic materials to propel design into a post-war era. At Santa Barbara Design Center, you can see and feel a variety of mid-century inspired furniture, including our signature leather chairs and recliners with classical wood frames. Accent them with side tables, daybeds, ottomans for a slick, artistic look. Customize these pieces to fit your home perfectly. To bring mid-century modern style to your home, please visit us at Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive Street.
Welcome to Rugs & More. We provide the West Coast with the most comprehensive collection of new Oriental and antique rugs. Rugs are solid art investments and often become cherished family treasures. Our limitless inventory will warm up your home. Exotic or traditional, tribal or modern, our rugs weave stories through intricate patterns, compelling colors, and touchable materials. Number one in Santa Barbara for over 20 years. Visit us today at Rugs & More, 410 Olive Street in Santa Barbara.
This week on Michael's Minute, we are going to talk about rug cleaning and restoration. A fine rug is a family treasure often passed on from generation to generation. Rugs need to be properly taken care of to ensure their survival and protect your investment. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we are the foremost experts in professional cleaning, repairing, and preserving your rugs. Rugs should be hand washed every 3 to 5 years to maintain the structure. When was the last time you washed your rugs? Proper cleaning can extend the longevity of your rug, whereas steam cleaning can damage it. Restorations by Rugs & More include hand stitching, fixing fringes and sides, and reviving worn pile. For the finest restoration and cleaning, bring your rugs into Rugs & More at Santa Barbara Design Center today, 410 Olive Street. On today's Michael's Minute, I would like to talk to you about window coverings and treatments. Here's our specialist, Kara. Kara, would you kindly please tell us about the window treatment?
Absolutely. Here at the Santa Barbara Design Center, we do both hard and soft window coverings. These are our Norman shutters. And what you can do is you could partner these with our treatment. I've also seen some other of our clients partner with something a little bit more shimmery. Aside from the hard treatments, we do designer window treatments, and they come in an array of different colors. The big suggestion I have is don't be afraid of color and keep your finials and your rods very simple.
Well, thank you very much, Kara. I appreciate it. To see thousands of different window coverings, please come to Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive Street. Today on Michael's Minute, I'm gonna talk about what makes a good sofa versus a great sofa. This one is called Malibu and this is called Malibu 2.0. What makes a difference is for the Malibu, we use industry standard wrap, which is a polyester. For the 2.0, we use a blend of angel hair, which is a synthetic down, and down itself. On top of that, we use 2 different fabrics for them. For the regular Malibu, we use 100% polyester fabric, which is very long lasting and has 30,000 double rub, which is very durable. For the 2.0, we use the highest quality linen in the market. I would like to invite you to come and see these in person. Come see me at Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive. Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara. Today I'm joined by Unity Shop's Executive Director, Tom Reed. Thank you, Tom, for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So I have more questions for you.
All right.
On a personal note, I understood you have some incredible classic cars. Can you tell us about them?
Well, I mentioned a little bit earlier that I got out of the business world because of some disasters that happened, and the second one was pretty significant. I lost all my money. I was investing in a house that I was building, and it went down on an avalanche-induced mudslide, and a very good friend of mine was actually killed in my house.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So it was a life-changing event. And I was a music director for a church at that point. My keyboard player was married to a master craftsman at Harrah's Car Museum in Reno, Nevada. And when I lost all my vehicles and all my money and the project, because I was building this house myself, learning how to build, which was fun, but the disaster created a real problem. And so my friend gave me an old car, a 1957 Bentley Silver Cloud 1. Needed a little work, but it was transportation, so I didn't need to buy a car. It was a financial boost. I didn't need to go lease a car or spend money on that. And it was a project. It needed some help. And the most thoughtful thing is he gave me a little box of nuts and bolts, miscellaneous, and I've been in that box every week, I think, for 35 years, looking for a half-inch washer or a little knock nut or a screw of some kind. So very thoughtful gift, and I never had the heart to get rid of it. So I moved to town, Santa Barbara, in 2000, and my wife, Marcia, who was working at that point at the Santa Barbara Chamber of Commerce, introduced me to people that were limousine drivers, and they were doing weddings, but they said, we always get requests for vintage cars, and there aren't any available. They are all over the place, but none of them are available, right? They're hidden in garages all over Montecito. So I said, well, sure, I could maybe do that. And it turns out that it's a supplement income-wise to what Unity Shop is able to pay. I'm not doing Unity because it's a high-paying, upside potential, big thing. It is scalable. Every city in America needs this, but that's not my motivation. And so I get a chance to share this car with people that become friends, and a lot of them I introduced to the Unity Shop, and I've given away some, you know, silent auction things to benefit Unity Shop, and it's just fun to share these old cars. I picked up another one in my Rotary Club. A lady got a 1938 Rolls Royce from a divorce settlement. She didn't have a use for it, and so I have these two cars, and they're just fun. I'm a car guy, and you need an excuse to play cars, and that's my excuse.
That's your beautiful. Good excuse to have.
It works, yeah.
So I would like to talk to you about Unity Telethon. Can you share the history of this fantastic event?
The telethon actually started with Kenny Loggins when he got involved, and he was so fascinated. Now, granted, we were, back then I was not involved, but Barbara Tellefson got Kenny's attention somehow or other. Loggins and Messina was very popular at that point, and she said to Kenny, who was doing Toys for Tots, he would play in clubs all over town, and no cover charge if you brought a new unwrapped toy, and it would go for Toys for Tots. And so Barbara got his attention and said, Kenny, do you know where those toys are going? And he said, well, sure, Marine Reserves, it's, you know, Toys for Tots, everybody knows. Well, she said, well, they're going to the Marine Reserve base down in Ventura, Point Hueneme, and a lot of them get distributed down there. The ones that end up here are pre-wrapped by Kiwanis. They hire a Santa Claus, and you go to the rec center, and any kid can go. They get all excited about getting a toy, but it's not gender or age sensitive. And if you go around behind the rec center, there's a lot of them that are kind of thrown away because it's not a very effective way to do it. I got another way I can show you. And he took the time to go down to what was basically a room about 20 feet long and 10 feet wide with some old stuff and boxes. And Barbara, to this day, Barbara Tellefson is amazed that Kenny actually sat still long enough for her to share the vision of what this could be. And he said, this is really quite remarkable, and more people need to know about it. There was no building, there was no permanent facility. And so he says, more people need to know about this. And I know Bob Smith up at KEYT. So I'll go up there and we'll get a little TV coverage. He never expected this to become a tradition in Santa Barbara. And I've been doing it for 15 years, and in the middle of it, I was doing 11.5-hour telethons.
Oh, wow.
Telethons, you know, there was Jerry Lewis, and, you know, it was Nash. A lot of people did them. No one, I don't think, would start a telethon now, but this has become kind of a tradition, and we've had well over 100 celebrities that Kenny's brought to the table, so people will tune in on Saturday, December the 9th, to see who's there. Is it going to be Jeff Bridges? It'll be Peter Noon, we know for sure. Kenny Loggins. Sometimes it's Rob Lowe. It's you never know. And so people will tune in, and then they get a little sense of what Unity's all about, and they might pick up the phone and say, that's worth supporting. And to be a Santa Barbara, a very unique agency that does tremendous good in Santa Barbara. That's our telethon.
So we are very lucky having you guys in town, and I have been fortunate to know you guys for a while, and my kids volunteer at the telethon, and my daughter Nicole has a bake sale that she puts every year a higher goal to sell, and hopefully they show up this year and support her at her telethon. My next question for you is, what are some of the surprises you have in store for this year's telethon?
Well, one of the surprises that I'm working on diligently is to have Nicole come and appear on camera with you on the telethon, because what it says is everybody in the community can do something, right? That's what Kenny's vision for Unity was. We can all kind of pull together to take care of our own. In a sense, it's the city's responsibility. Every city in America has a little food pantry someplace, or a food bank. But it's kind of impersonal, it's institutional. Concrete floors, metal shelves, here's a bag or a box of food. The way Unity Shop offers the services is wildly different than that. It reinforces the family. It's fun to see. It's more fun to come to Unity Shop than it is to go to Ralph's or Ross's or Toys R Us, because it's intended to reinforce the family. And everybody can help. Some people ride a motorcycle and bring toys. Some people will do a little fundraiser. Some people have a birthday party at the Unity Shop. They're 50 years old. They invite 50 people, and they say, each one of you donate $50, and we'll have hors d'oeuvres and wine and a party at the Unity Shop. Everybody can do something, and some people can just pick up the phone and donate $25 or $100. Some people can put us in their will or their living trust. If they can't donate now, they can just do that and say, I'll give 5% or an amount in my, well, because I don't know how long I'm going to live and I don't want to outlive my money, but I want to help the community, right? Everybody can do something, and Nicole, I love the fact that she has gone out of her way. It's hard work to put together the bake sale. I hope people come down to the Design Center and not only buy some cupcakes or whatever she's making or acquiring, but gets a chance to see this beautiful store. I just love this place.
You're very kind. Thank you so very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Everybody can do something, and I'd love to have, this is a formal invitation. You can't get away from it. It's on video. I want you and Nicole to appear live on camera.
It would be our pleasure, and it's an honor, again, having you guys in town, and it's a special place. We will be there.
Good.
So my next question is, tell us about the amazing celebrity appearances during the Telethon. And I know you have a lot of them, but if you could name a few, it would be great.
Well, we love the surprises. You know, we did an event at the Libero Theater just recently in October. And we had Peter Noon give a full concert. It was a full hour concert. We also had the Madrigal Singers from San Marcos High School. We had Lois Mahalia. Dennis Miller was there and helped introduce Peter. And he brought his band. He seldom brings his band to town because he's traveling. He tells me he still travels 200,000 miles a year.
Oh, wow.
And he sold 50 million records, this guy. And I've often wondered privately, nobody can see this, right? But I've often wondered, Peter, how can you be traveling this much? It's Asia, it's Europe, it's all over the country. He's gone constantly. And when he started singing those songs, now granted, these are 1960s hits, right? British Invasion, all of that stuff. As soon as he started singing those songs, everyone in the audience started singing. They knew almost every word. Henry VIII, I am. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. I mean, all of a sudden, everybody's singing. And so there's an age group, and maybe I'm just a part of that because I was in high school at that point. It's so popular still and familiar. And so we videotaped the entire concert, and that'll be part of it. But you never know who's going to show up. Jeff Bridges often will wander by. He's become a good friend of Unity. He's all about No Kid Hungry. He wants Santa Barbara County to be the first one that actually is successful with the kid hunger, newly needy, food insecurity. All of that is Jeff's primary focus. And so you just never know who's going to show up. Barry Dvorak is there, Grammy Award-winning songwriter. We've had Clint Black, Olivia Newton-John. We've had John Cleese. There's some surprises, and you never know who's going to show up. And it's kind of the mystery is why people will tune in, and we love that part because it's such a celebratory event. 100 years. This is a big one for us.
Wonderful, and it just doesn't get any better way to spend your money and time. So my last question would be, what do you see in Unity Shop's future?
I was excited. I went to a charity not too long ago that's been around forever. And the morale wasn't great. The building is dilapidated. And it just felt like they were hanging on to continue because it's hard to raise money. There's so many nonprofits. It's kind of a competitive world for that charitable dollar, and I know that. That's my job, is to just find the dollars. And so I get that. But at Unity Shop, it's exciting. Our new building at 1401 Chapala has only been open 4 years. In a 100-year history, to have a new building only 4 years open is really pretty exciting because it's fun to see. And so I invite everybody to come down and see it. Now, our gift shop at 1219 State Street, right across from the Granada Theater, has been open for 15 years. It's in a rented space, and it looks like that space is going to be, we're only in the very front. They're going to rent out or sell the entire building, and that's probably to the landlord's benefit, but then we're out. And so we have actually got a sweetheart deal and acquired a building 3 doors down. And in early 2018, we're going to have grand openings for our new little Unity gift shop. And most of them have gone out of business on State Street because the rents were so high. And so we're moving it down. But here's the exciting part. It's big glass storefront. It's going to be actually nicer for walk-ins and just display purposes. But in the back will be our seniors. And they're actually there already operating because they're gift wrapping 3,000 boxes for seniors that are in board and care facilities, artificial kidney center, cancer center, convalescent hospitals. And the caregivers send us a short list of needs for Mary. They're working with Mary. She's 89, she's wheelchair bound. She needs a robe and slippers, and she needs a blouse, a short list of whatever she needs. And her favorite color is blue, and she's a size medium. And they're assembling these customized boxes, little bag of chocolate, little stuffed animal, gift wrapped, and it's the only gift Mary gets for her birthday and Christmas. Very meaningful. They do a bunch of other stuff, but it'll be visible in the back of the gift shop so that the public can actually see what Unity does. The gift shop supports what we do, but it isn't what we do. And if you like the Senior Center, we'll be happy to line up a tour of the Family Services Center. It's only a block away. So we're reconstituting our operational footprint after going through a pretty major disaster about 5 years ago.
Well, absolutely priceless what you do. I would like to thank Tom Reed for taking time to talk with us. I encourage all the viewers to come and visit you and do the donations because it's the best way money will be spent. Now here we are in front of the Design Center with my beautiful daughter Nicole. Can you please tell them what you're gonna do for the Unity Shop?
Okay, so come on down to the Santa Barbara Design Center on December 9th and I'll be having a bake sale. All funds go to the Unity Shop.
Beautiful. Thank you.